At the height of my spending problem, I was spending anywhere from $16,000 to $20,000 annually just on beauty services. And this includes laser hair removal, microblading, which is permanent makeup, brow lamination, lash lift, hair, nails, pedicure, teeth whitening, Botox, fillers, and facial. It is stupid the amount of money that I spent. Now that I've gotten away from a lot of those services and purchases that I used to make, I look back at it and I think that the two main reasons I was spending so much money so mindlessly and carelessly, because I really categorized it as self-care, as necessary, as beauty enhancement, basically as the norm. The two main reasons that drove me was low self-confidence, low self-esteem, also the influence of influencers, which is why we call them influencers. For many years, I watched a lot of short form videos and I watched a ton of influencers on YouTube who talked about all of these services and treatments. And at first glance, when you see the amount of money spent on all of these beauty services, it looks a little nuts. But once you see it over and over and over again, and you see tons of different influencers and creators openly talking about all of these services and products that they do and have, it becomes the norm. It just becomes the expectation. And that's what's called aesthetic inflation, is that we start off what used to be considered luxury and like a nice to have, a little treat once in a while, is now the baseline. It is the norm. And so there is this trend that started around 2023 and it's still popular now, and it's called high maintenance to be low maintenance. And the theory behind this trend is that you do all of these things up front to make your life day to day easier and maybe somewhat less expensive. But I think that the high maintenance to be low maintenance is a little misleading, because in my view, the way that I see this is that all of these services and products that these mainly women use nowadays, that they showcase, is basically a way to look undone. Like they're spending tens of thousands of dollars to look like they just woke up like that. And I don't have a problem with the influencer. I really want to be clear. I think that would be a huge contradiction if I kind of got on any of these influencers. Like they can spend whatever they want to spend, and I spent that for a very long time, so I really don't have any space to say. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I think that we have to be really careful who we judge ourselves against. And that's what got me in trouble in the first place, is that I was judging myself against all of these influencers who were spending tens of thousands of dollars on services to appear naturally pretty, if you want to say that. And honestly, a lot of them were probably getting those products and services for free to promote it, but us, we have to pay for it. And the other thing is that a lot of these women, a lot of these influencers and creators on, let's say, TikTok or Instagram, might be showing you their favorite moisturizer or serum or their favorite makeup products for the month. And the thing is that it's not just the product in isolation that is making them appear attractive to you. It is the thousands of dollars that went on behind the scenes to help them look like that. And so if they are showcasing their top skincare products, one, they're probably using a filter. That's a whole other conversation. But they've also probably had filler and Botox and tons of different facials and skincare treatments. And so it's not just the product itself. And then if you also still look at, like, let's say makeup, if somebody's using a brow product or a lash product, or even makeup itself, the way that they apply it, all of these procedures behind the scenes allow them to show the beautiful effects of the makeup, but it's actually not just the makeup, it's all the other stuff behind it. And so one of the things that sparked this video is because I was on TikTok scrolling and I came across this girl and she looked just stunning. She looked like she had a golden tan glow, that she had just come off the beach. Her hair was just beautifully wavy and she literally looked like she had no makeup on. She just looked like stunningly beautiful and natural. And I was watching the video not really knowing where she was going until she started talking about a blush, and then she's like, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the skin, but it's going to be hard for you to tell because I have like 10 other layers of makeup on underneath this. And I was like, it looked like she had nothing on. And so then I went through her profile, and ways down, she was talking about, you know, Botox that she had and certain treatments that she had. And I just think that we have to really sound the alarm on who is selling us products and who we are comparing ourselves to. If you're comparing yourself to somebody, it makes you then feel less than. This used to happen to me all the time. I would be having a good day and then I would come across an influencer, or sometimes even in real life, but a lot of the time it was on social media, and then all of a sudden I would feel a lot less attractive and important after watching certain influencers. And, you know, some of these influencers I still watched, and some of them I just realized that it was not healthy for my mindset and I stopped watching them. So we're gonna go through a few videos to demonstrate what this high maintenance to low maintenance trend is, basically what I would call the cost of being naturally pretty, and I put that in quotation marks because there's really nothing natural about it. And this is really like, I don't know how I feel about this because I did this for so long. I think this is just to start a conversation around it and bring some awareness. So let's get into it.
This is what I spend to be a girly girl in Miami. And you don't have to do all this, but the beauty standards here, they're pretty freaking high. We'll start with the basics, and I try to get my nails done 2 times a month and my toes once. I get builder gel, and it's about $100 for a fill every time I go, and then about $70 for my toes. So I spend about $300 a month on my toes. I just did my brows this morning. These were $130. I got a lamination and a tint. I have a spray tan membership and I get 3 sprays a month and I pay like $130. I just got my hair done yesterday and this was a little over $400 with tip, which I went to Fort Lauderdale for that. This was a new girl. The last girl I went to, I got a partial and it was like $700, $800. I have a personal trainer. I pay her $900 a month. I have a gym membership that is about $250 a month. I also have a class pass membership that's $150 a month. I have a laser hair removal membership and that's $130 a month, and that's for my full body. And then I probably spend about $100 to $200 a month on just makeup and hair essentials. I've only gotten my Botox done once in Miami and it was $1,200, and I get Botox about every 3 months. So you do the math, but it's expensive to stay pretty. So
it's not just expensive to be in Miami and spend that much money. It's basically just life. Like just living as a female now, the standards keep the baseline of what is the norm. It just keeps, the bar keeps raising and raising and raising. And she was the first one because if you look at her, if we go into her profile, whatever she wants to do, she wants to do. If she lives in Miami and she feels like that is a standard she has to hold herself to, then that's fine. I suspect that she seems to be in her 20s. My personal opinion is that she's going to look back at this in 10 years and be like, I cannot believe I spent so much freaking money on all of that. But if you look at her profile, she does a lot of lifestyle content, Miami content, or Florida content in general. And one might look at her with envy or awe because she's very attractive. She has a great body. She's tan. She just looks like she's an it girl that has it all together. But when you step behind the scenes, you'll see that she is spending about $1,100 a month just on fitness. I think she said $900 on a personal trainer and $250 on classes. It's a lot of freaking money. One, I don't actually think that's really necessary. I think if you just get in a lot of walking and a gym, I was spending a lot of money. I mean, my class memberships were about $250 a month. They were not $1,200, but even that I cut it out because I realized that with a good fitness app, which I will talk about in a future video, with getting a lot of walking in and not being sedentary and just going to the gym, which my gym membership is like $22 a month, I could kind of achieve the same thing. And so just looking at her, she's probably spending $12,000 to $15,000 annually to be pleasing to the eye. And also, it does appear that, I think I saw one of her other videos where she said, she has many sources of income. One of them is like social media management, but being an influencer is one of those sources of income. And I hate to say this, but there is something called pretty privilege. And it is a known, studied fact that the more attractive you appear online on social media, the more you will sell. Whether you are selling a product, a service, or yourself, people are just more drawn to you. And so I would say that even in doing all of that, is also helping her make more money because people are watching her because they want to be her. People like to look at pretty things. I don't really know. I feel like I might get some hate for saying that.
Some high maintenance I do to stay low maintenance. First up was my lymphatic massage. I always look forward to this. It is a game changer for detoxing and water retention. It helps my circulation so much. And I always leave feeling sculpted and light. Then it was time for my cryo. I did 3 minutes at -80. I'd be lying if I said I was looking forward to this. After stepping out, he checked my temperature to make sure I was okay. Honestly, the freezing temperature is so worth it. For better recovery, glowing skin, and that endorphin rush. Next, it was time for my nails. Always the Russian manicure and hard gel combo. And honestly, the hardest part of being a girl is picking the right shade of pink. But we got there in the end, and 2 hours later, they were perfect. Then it was time for my secret weapon. You know what they say, if your hair is on point, nothing else matters. I love not having to style my hair in the week. It's like life on easy mode. And my final saying of the day, beauty is pain, especially if it's a facial. My last stop was an exome facial with microneedling. Exomes are the next big thing. Used my favorite BR products, and safe to say I was glowing all week.
Let's keep going.
Here are some high maintenance things I do to stay low maintenance. First up, face gym. If you know me, you know I love a good gua sha. Sometimes you need the hands of a professional. This is literally Pilates for your face. Lifting, sculpting, depuffing, and draining the lymphatic system all in one. It's intense, but the results are unmatched. Leave looking snatched. Next, it was time for my weekly IV. No matter how many times I get this, I'm still scared.
Is it time? Wait.
And honestly, it's not even painful, it's just the thought of the needle. But thankfully, my nurse is patient and the glow is undescribable. I will never skip these. It's not high maintenance to stay low maintenance without a Russian mani. But this time I did a mani-pedi combo because efficiency. I won't lie, it was slightly overstimulating. Russian manicures are so intricate, but the precision is always worth it. At 3 hours, I was done. Then it was time to sweat it out, because if I'm not in a red lit room at least once a week, my week is not complete. And finally, it was time for my hair. My New Year's resolution is to learn how to do my own hair. But until then, you will find me in this chair indefinitely. A fresh blow dry fixes everything. I left feeling 10 times better than when I walked in, which is really the most important thing.
She says my New Year's resolution is to learn how to do my own hair. So I don't know what this girl does for a living, or if she's like, I don't know how she gets her money. I think like that's the baseline, is like, maybe you want to get a blowout, but you should at least know how to blow dry your own hair. And here's the thing. Some of the things that she does is we might think is over the top, but one, the face gym thing, which is where they massage and gua sha your face, before I started my budgeting journey, I looked into getting that. I don't remember why I chose not to, but I was going to. And now that I look at it, it's just a stupid, mindless expense. Something that you could just look up YouTube and do it yourself if you really wanted to. And the other thing is that, I don't know if this is something that happened to her, but it's definitely something that happened to me, is that once I started out trying a service or a treatment, that thing would just become standard in my routine. So it was usually not, unless it was like permanent makeup, like permanent brows, it was usually not a one-off. I would go in there like, oh, I'm gonna try this out, and then walk out like, oh, I'm just going to keep up this frequency, whether it was every 8 weeks for a lash lift and brow lamination, or it was every week or every other week for a spray tan, whatever it was. And so once I tried something, it was never a one-off. It was, okay, now I'm adding in an additional few $100s into my maintenance routine. And this girl is really beautiful, but she spends a lot of money to be that way. And my guess, my just assumption here is that even a lot of this stuff is kind of useless, like crypto cryo, whatever that is, the freezing, the cold stuff. Maybe there's some health benefits behind it, but it doesn't seem very necessary. I would say though, I believe you guys may think I'm totally wrong here, but I believe influencers influence influencers. If there's a trend, another influencer will pick it up and they all influence each other, and then it trickles down and influences us. And so I'd assume that she's doing a lot of these things because that is the standard expectation of somebody in her niche or in her community, of you do these things as self-care to make yourself beautiful and feel better. And in the end, it ends up resulting in, if I had to guess, like she definitely did way more than I ever did. If I had to guess, she's probably around 30 or 40,000 annually on stuff. And I think that that's being conservative, but I could be wrong. I don't know. On to the next.
is high maintenance, and I want to say it's to be low maintenance, but it actually just takes up so much time and it's expensive. So here's what I get done, how often, and the prices. Any girls that have had hair extensions, you know that once you get them, you never go back. I get these done every 4 to 6 weeks. I have tape extensions. I personally find these give me so much volume and I just love the way they look. Total cost for this was £1,170. Stop is for my facials and my injectables. So I love to get microneedling. I just think this is such an underrated treatment and it makes such a difference to the skin. I try to get this once a month because these things are time consuming. I always try to double up on my treatments or triple up in this case. So I also booked in for M-Sculpt, which basically is a machine that is strapped onto your body and it tones and strengthens the muscles. To be honest, I only really do this before holiday. My masseter Botox was way overdue. I usually get this done every 4 months. Another treatment I can't live without, and this all came to £1,500. Next up is waxing, and I get full legs and full arms, and I do this every 6 weeks. This does actually make my life easier, and it is high maintenance to be low maintenance, and this is £94. If your manicures don't last, then you need to try a Ukrainian manicure. Ever since I've been getting these, I only get my nails done once a month. This costs me £87. Let's be honest, this is high maintenance. And
the trend in all of these videos, we can't go through all of the ones that I found because there are many, but Russian manicures seem to be a thing. I still miss my nails a little bit, but even now that I'm debt free, I paid off all my debt, I'm gonna stick with just doing my nails at home because honestly, I don't like the process of going to the salon, and I kind of just still want to save that money. Again, she's beautiful, but if we go through her Instagram, she is an influencer, right? So she's talking about makeup she loves and skincare she loves and the outfits that she's wearing. And I think that as somebody who is not dialed into it would land on one or a few of her videos and see her promoting a makeup product or a skincare product and be like, oh, that's one of the reasons why she looks so beautiful. When really behind the scenes, it is the filler and the Botox and the facials and the hair extension. It's the whole package. And even with hair extensions, this is one thing that a lot of these influencers do is hair extensions. And I had them for a little while right before I started this budgeting channel. And I had hair extensions for about 6 months, and it was a stupid amount of money, maybe like 4 months. It was stupid money. I think I paid like $1,800 for the first session for the hair and to her to put it in. And I actually think, like, depending on where you live, that might be inexpensive for some people. And then the upkeep for her to take them out and then put them back in, move them up and do color, I think it cost me anywhere between $700 and $900 every time I went there. It is stupid. And so in my hairdresser, I live in a small area. I live on Cape Cod, so it's not like a big city or anything. And she does so many people's heads. She's known for hair extensions. And I just look at all of them and I look at all these influencers and I'm like, it's so much money. It is really nice to have, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a lot of freaking money. And so I don't know how I feel. Like, I think that I still haven't fully figured out how I feel on this because there are certain things that I'm keeping in my budget that make me feel good, but I think that we can go overboard and be excessive with it and not realize that we're doing it. We can kind of get lost in it, or at least that's what happened to me. When I really cut down my budget and cut mostly everything out, I realized there were a few select things that were actually really important to me. I guess it is still stemming from low confidence and low self-esteem, but is it? Like, I kept Botox in because I just don't like to see the wrinkles. I just don't. And it makes me feel better. I don't know. I kind of love this girl for making this video.
So let this be a reminder, you're so naturally beautiful. That depends on what you consider natural. I get my lips done, I've gotten Botox. Not only do I work out 2 to 3 hours a day, I normally go from Pilates to the gym. After the gym, I'll go tanning, red light therapy, skin wellness. I'll either go home and make a smoothie or grab a juice or a smoothie at somewhere. Go home, shower, do skincare, do body care, do hair care, do the whole fucking runaround. Once or twice a month, I get a massage, I get a facial, I get my hair done almost every other week. Get my nails done every 2 weeks along with pedicure. So when I hear you're so naturally beautiful, I want to say thank you, but there's really nothing natural about any of the beauty things that I do.
I love her for making that video, and I think that that is like if that video could summarize what I'm trying to say, that is it. She even said it there, is like, I don't know what she was spending, but just based on her routine, it is a full-time job for her to look that way. And she does have some good genetics, some good features, but it takes a whole lot of effort to be that attractive. Even if you look at people like the Kardashians or anyone else, they still go through a lot of procedures, a lot of plastic surgery, and they have a whole team of people making them look that way. And it can skew the way that we see ourselves, because I would be comparing myself to a girl who is basically spending all day to make herself look better. Where I even if I had the money right now, I could never put that much time and effort into it, because I work like 3 jobs. And so even if I wanted to, I couldn't. And if she can do that, that's great. And obviously I think she's an influencer too. And so her job is to be attractive and sell herself and sell things, and that's fine. There's so much comparison going on social media, and it is such a driver of how we think and feel about ourselves, and it's such a driver of our purchasing decisions and it is so hard. It is so easy to overlook all of this and just kind of look at everything from the outside and not think critically about it at all. And it can lead us, at least for me, this is what it did for me. I don't want to include you in this because I don't know, but it led me to making a lot of stupid purchases and spending thousands of dollars to make myself prettier and feel better about myself. But it's just a crutch. It's a mask. It's all a facade. And I've made videos on this, and I have said that I felt less attractive and less feminine as I let a lot of this stuff go. And I've kind of skewed away from that now. I don't feel like that as much, but that was a feeling I held for a while. But I actually feel better now that, yes, I still get Botox because I just don't like to see the wrinkles, and I do still get my hair done, although a lot less infrequently. But I just feel a lot better now knowing that I'm still me and I'm still okay, even though I've cut out about $10,000 worth of services and things from my budget. I'm still fine. My relationships haven't changed. My job hasn't changed. Like, the only thing that changed in my life from removing all of that stuff was a positive, was more debt paid off, more money in my bank account, less stress month to month. So all in all, it's been a net positive.
I'm about to get really vulnerable with you right now, because you don't go from this photo to this with just good skincare, water, and good nutrition. Okay, it doesn't happen. This is Botox, upper bleph surgery, temple filler, a little bit of lip filler, a chemical peel around my mouth, Morpheus 8 treatments on my face, cool peel treatments on my chest, and even a partial facelift. It is not a Guadalajara facelift. My goal was not to be unrecognizable. It was just to look a little bit more on the outside like I feel on the inside. But when I see some of these influencers and the serums and the skincare and all of that stuff and saying that it's going to transform the way your face looks, I really want to get honest and tell you, it is going to probably take a lot of these different types of treatments to get the results you want to get. And I'm just trying to be honest.
This is just so true, right? This is what I was saying, is that all these influencers showcasing skincare and makeup they might not even be aware that they're doing it. They might not even be making the connection between the services that they do, whether it is regular facials or Botox or filler or facelifts or whatever it is, and the products that they're using. If I just had to guess, I would say 8 times out of 10, it is all the stuff done behind the scenes. It is not that serum that you're loving or that milky toner that makes your skin super hydrated. It's everything taken together. And I just think that it can lead us down just a dangerous place. All right, one more.
Hey guys, this is my official video where I tell you guys that I'm gonna be stopping the use of the no filter slim. I have actually realized that it's ruining my life. Everywhere I go, the restaurants when I go out, the clubs when I go, like wherever I go, when people take pictures of me, I look at myself and I'm like, oh my god, no, I need the no filter slim. When I do my videos, I'm like, my face doesn't look right. I actually have researched surgeries that I can do to get the no filter slim look. It's actually ruining my life. I don't feel pretty anymore, and I have decided that I'm gonna stop and just like learn to love my face like this with no filter. If you see a filter and it says in the bottom corner, no filter slim, cuss me out.
This is the other thing, is the use of filters. Even on TikTok, there are times I'm starting to post a little more on TikTok, and there are videos that I have in queue or have posted and I'm like, oof, my skin is looking rough or it looks not good, but I'm not putting a filter on it intentionally because I just want to see myself as it is. And I think that when you're using filters regularly, you can kind of be, even though you're seeing yourself in the mirror, you can somewhat be led to believe that you actually kind of look like that. And it can really hurt your confidence. And obviously it did for her too. And if we go back to the other woman just before that, when she was talking about how she had bleph surgery and a facelift, I don't know if you saw my last video, my budget video. In that video, I talked about going to an event and seeing a bunch of beautiful women there, and they all clearly had work done, in my opinion, and all beautiful plastic surgery of some kind. And I left that feeling low self-esteem, low confidence, and searching for a good person for chin lipo or facelift. I am not getting the facelift, not anytime soon. I've decided I'm not doing it. So let's get off of that part. But that's how I felt. And I think I was just acutely, because of all the research I've done on plastic surgery and facelifts, I think I was acutely aware of what these women had done. A guess, but I think it's a really good guess. Had I not known that, I probably would have left that event. I probably would have analyzed these women in the makeup they were using. I would have analyzed their outfits and probably their faces and assumed Botox and filler. I probably would have left and made a Botox appointment or a filler appointment and probably gone shopping and probably picked up some new makeup just to make myself feel better. Instead, what I did was research plastic surgeons for a facelift, so definitely know better. It just goes to show you how comparison can really ruin your mental and emotional stability. And I know people who do not compare themselves to others. There's one woman that I work with, and she's freaking amazing, and she is a rare breed in the best way. And I've just sat down with her, and I'm like, she is not somebody who is envious. She does not care, but she just loves everybody as they are, and she loves herself, and not in an egotistical way at all. And I always wonder, like, she's so innately comfortable in her skin. And she's not like the most objectively a beautiful woman, but she's just a beautiful human. And I sat her down recently and I was like, how do you not care? Like, she cares about her appearance, but only for her to be the best version of herself. It is never for anybody else. And she basically just said, I never look at somebody else and think I want to be them or be like them. She said, because it doesn't serve me, is basically what she said. She's like, that's not healthy for me. And the only question I ask myself is, when I'm thinking something or about to do something, does this make me better? Does this benefit me in some way? And she's like, and that doesn't. Her and her husband are very comfortable financially. And so she's like, we were on a boat with a bunch of people the other day, and they had a huge boat because they obviously had a lot of money. And she's like, I never looked to her and was envious because she had that. She's like, I love my little boat. She's like, if I see another beautiful woman, that's good for her. I'm happy for her. And I'm like, it's such a superpower to have that. And maybe I'm alone in this, but I try so hard to just not compare myself and not judge myself against other people, to be so comfortable with myself. And it is such a daily struggle. And I have not perfected this at all. But my goal is to not be reliant on any of this stuff. I think it's okay. I think it's good to want to look put together and present yourself in a certain way that makes you feel good and like the best version of yourself. It's not like we shouldn't spend money on any beauty treatments or anything at all. But if I'm relying on those things to make myself worthy enough of being a friend to somebody or a partner to somebody or just somebody worth, talking to or getting to know, I don't want to rely on these things as a crutch. And if I don't have any of these services or products or things, then my self-esteem plummets and I kind of like go into a hole and into myself. I don't want to do that. I just want to be happy with myself. And I'm really, really trying. I have not perfected this. I haven't perfected it at all. And I don't know that I ever will. A part of me is like, I don't think it's a thing that we reach. I just think it's something that we have to practice for the most part every single day. And one of those things is being completely aware of what we're watching and who we're watching. I don't know if this video made any sense. I didn't really have a point of view on it, honestly. I'm not angry about it. I'm not indifferent. I don't know how I feel, but I know that it was a conversation that I wanted to have. So if you have any thoughts down below, please leave them. I would love to hear them. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks.